I know we hear all the time and we say all the time, like, your mind creates your reality, right? But I don't think we're fully getting the magnitude of that statement, how crazy that statement actually is. As humans, we are so impressionable and we're becoming aware of how things like the news, what we consume on social media, everything that we consume impacts us. But why does that happen? Let's say you're hearing someone speak, or you're reading a book, or you're listening to the news, right? And you are consuming all of this fear related content, right? Oh, the world is ending, everything is burning down. And that's all you're being presented with, right? What's happening at a subconscious level is you're taking that information in, but your mind is like recreating the image a second time. If you hear someone telling a story, like your mind is creating that story in your head. And in a way, you're living that story out. And so then, because our mind really does create reality, what we visualize consistently, it ends up presenting itself in our life. It's being recreated in our life. What you constantly visualize and imagine, right? Your brain is conjuring up these images, these visions. You end up creating an event in physical reality that mirrors what you're thinking. Life, like I talked about in previous videos, waking life is really like a slow dream. When you're in a dream, everything that you're thinking about comes true in an instant, right? That is happening in waking life, but at a much slower level. So we're consuming all of this, like we are being impressed upon ideas and feelings and emotions that aren't really ours. I think we're being impressed upon emotions that other people want us to have. And honestly, I think it is some kind of control. I don't want to feed into that narrative or give it too much power, because in the end, I have the ability to control my state. I am a sovereign being. I empower myself, right? So I don't feed into much of the conspiracy theories, fear narratives, whatever. But you can't deny it. Like, just observing, it looks like some shit is happening, right? And if you are bombarded with information that's displaying a subconscious message of fear, oh, the world is getting worse, then that will be your reality. It's like the way I'm envisioning it. I've been really thinking about this. It's like we are all individual universes. We have a universe inside of our head. And so you can literally choose to feed into the narrative that the world is getting worse. Or you can choose to actually see the good in life. See that there are great people. See that society is advancing in certain ways. See that maybe we're getting healthier. We're becoming more health conscious. And you can choose to live that narrative, and that narrative will be true for you. It's like your own universe in your own head. Like I'm living in a reality where I see the world advancing, improving, becoming better. And I truly believe that life, the universe, is unfolding in my highest good. Everything that happens to me, good or bad, is for my highest good. It's making me stronger. But I had to realize, become aware of all that disempowering programming that I was running on, and I consciously had to choose to rewire myself in a way that was going to be most empowering for me, to take back control of my own mind and my own life. So if we want to get into the brain, the science behind it, right, it all comes down to the reticular activating system, the RAS. And we interface with so much information, millions, probably trillions of bits of information in a day. We need something to filter out. We need a filtering out mechanism, or else we can't make sense of anything. So that's what the reticular activating system does. It filters out what isn't relevant to us, and it decides what to bring to our conscious attention. But how do we determine then what isn't relevant to us? What information we shouldn't pay attention to? That's all done subconsciously, and that's the key that we need to take control of. Our subconscious beliefs, our hardwiring is what is going to dictate what's important to us, right? What we continuously focus on or put our attention on signals to the RAS that, okay, this is important to us. Pay attention to it. So if we're always focusing on our goals, or we're always focusing on our fears, the RAS will continue to call our attention to signs and patterns in our external environment that confirm that. So let's say you're thinking about starting a business. You'll see that you'll start to notice, you'll pick up on maybe people having conversations about it, overhearing conversations. Certain like articles or like social media posts will be just drawn to your attention, right? Because you set that goal in your brain. You told the RAS what to pay attention to. Like the common example is you buy a new car and then all of a sudden you start seeing cars all over the place, same exact as your car, but you never noticed that before. I started seeing Honda Civics, gray Honda Civics everywhere, but I never would have picked up on that before. That's what the RAS does. So it's always reconfirming or strengthening the beliefs or the intentions or what we're paying attention to. It's confirming the beliefs that we already hold. If we subconsciously believe life is hard, then we'll be getting more and more proof that life is hard. We will subconsciously seek proof of struggle. If you develop the belief that life is a game and you can choose to believe that it's rigged in your favor, right? Then you'll start to notice how things work out for you. That all of the struggle is really for your benefit. But you have to be the one to take control of what you believe. That's it. That's the power. Like we can really choose to believe anything. But it takes time to form a belief, right? You don't just choose, oh, I'm going to believe this and then it forms overnight, right? It takes repetition. You got to stay on top of your mind. You got to really observe it. Really notice when you're running on outdated patterns or patterns that you don't want anymore, thinking habits that don't serve you anymore, and consciously install new ones. Notice in the moment when you go down this rabbit hole of limited thinking, right? And just remember that you're limitless. Notice when you're shrinking your potential, or notice when you feel like a victim to life, like you feel like life is happening against you. Like the victim mentality is so detrimental. It just kills a lot of people, metaphorically, right? Like, nah, you can say, how is this benefiting me? Instead of, how is this trying to tear me down? Like, why is this happening to me? How can I use this as fuel? How can I use this to get better? You always have that choice to make. You just have to become conscious in the moment to actually make that choice. The mind is so powerful, and everything is created, right? When we have a thought, everything started as a thought, right? The mind creates everything. So the thought happens, it's being organized without, I don't really understand the full details, but without getting into too much detail, it's like, the thought is organized at a higher dimension first, and it's being organized, and it's being built up and shaped with more repetition in that general way, right? And then eventually it makes its way down to the physical dimension. So from the dimension of thought to the physical dimension where it actually becomes real. And we're like grooving our reality, just like we groove our habits with every decision, right? We're grooving our reality with every single thought that we make, every single thought that we have. And it's crazy to think about. What you need to really do is decide what truth you really want to exist. What do you want to be true to you? Everyone has their own individual truth, and you can decide what is true for you. I'm honestly starting to believe it's really hard to believe what is true. I think we have however many people on this planet, like 8 billion individual truths that is true in your universe, right? And so it's time to realize the power that we actually have to create this shit. We can really create it. And you can choose to believe that life is rigged in your favor. You can choose to believe even more empowering beliefs, earth-shattering, world-breaking beliefs. Literally, it's all possible. We just got to realize the power that we have. So hopefully that helped. Let me know what you think. Peace.